What's up, everybody? It's your boy LeoThePeo. For breakfast, a banana and a hard-boiled egg and some stew. For lunch, I had some Ritz crackers, and for dinner, we had McDonald's because my mom wasn't hungry, and my dad and I wanted McDonald's, so they got it on the way home. It was really tasty. I had a Daily Double, which is a new McDonald's sandwich, and it's essentially a McDouble with lettuce and mayonnaise, and it was okay. It was pretty good. Nothing is really going on except for GPT-5 releasing today. God, I really wasn't that hyped for GPT-5. This looks like a V-neck. I really wasn't that hyped for GPT-5 at all. Like, I was expecting it to be like pretty cool. Like, I was looking at the Horizon models, and they seemed really interesting. So I was expecting it to be quite impressive. I was curious what people were saying about it. So I went on Twitter, right? I was looking around, and everybody's like, guys, the world's ending. Yeah! It was like, the SpongeBob meme with everybody, like, with the papers and with all the SpongeBobs and they're with the papers and it's fire. That's what it was like. I don't know do you see that on my shirt? That artifact there? I don't know what's going on. There's like a weird data moshing thing going on. I don't know why that's happening. And now my audio is a little delayed. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe it's because I'm running like an open code thing. Like I'm running like an agentic like GPT-5 thing right now. But anyway, everybody was everybody was way overhyping GPT-5 on Twitter. And so were people like at OpenAI. Like Sam Altman was. I'm so sorry about the audio delay. I see that too. Sam Altman was the CEO of OpenAI, was like, posting photos of like the Death Star, implying that like, oh, like this is like the Death Star of large language models, and it comes out and it's like, a bit better. Like it's probably the best large language model. I think Grok 4 is still a little better in some benchmarks, but in a lot of other benchmarks, it seems to be the best model. It's like the best large language model right now. And also, particularly in like web development, it can make some really nice UIs. It does very like sort of purple buttons, which is funny. Like it's funny how like, as soon as like a large language, or as soon as like an AI image generator or like a large language model that like does like front end like web dev stuff comes out, and it like comes out with something that looks very cool and impressive and like new, and you're like, oh wow, this is very neat. But then immediately you see like a bunch of that immediately because it's like very mass reproducible, because now like a AI model can make it, right? And now there's nothing that's like immediate. Okay, now it's even more delayed. That's crazy. Okay, I guess this is just something we're gonna have to deal with, friends. Okay, so then I'm gonna just hide OBS so then I don't even have to look at it because it's messing up my voice. Okay, just ignore. You know what? Here we go. So anyway, what was I saying? You look at. Sorry, that really messed me up. Because everything is so mass reproducible, right? Like everything is super replicable, and it becomes really easy to, just replicate, right? And so you don't know exactly what makes it look like an AI-generated thing, but you can just sort of tell. And that same thing is happening with these, GPT-5 generated front ends. I just think that's funny. How, things are like not really obviously AI generated anymore, but there are still things that like tip people off. Sorry. And it's just interesting. But the UIs look great. Right now I'm running open code, and I asked it to make like a my like silly benchmark question is I ask it to make a 3D video game in the Go programming language, and it usually doesn't do very well because nobody writes 3D video games in Go, but usually it can like, I don't know, that's just like a fun little thing I like to do as like a fun little benchmark to see its like problem solving skills, and it looks like, it's doing a lot of Google searches, and it's doing a lot of, coding and stuff. I've already done, 83,000 tokens, so that's like 83,000 words of internal monologue worth of thinking. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, GPT-5 is pretty cool. It's cool that it's free for everyone now. And it's cool that they're consolidating their offerings. because it's like there was like 04 and there was like 04 mini and 04 mini high and 03 and 4.0 and what 4.1, 4.1 mini and 4.1 nano, and like all these different language models that were like samey, you know. It's cool that they're sort of consolidating it into this GPT-5 family. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna undo my camera so I can do the thumbs up. But yeah, goodbye.